in terms of the civil rights movement, there was a process that you did in terms of getting the actors ready to play these roles. Can you talk about that? And you actually put little kits together for them to kind of really study, and then your rehearsal process, and some of the stuff that you did to surprise some of your cast members to get them ready to play these women who were living in a deeply segregated South in 1964.
I mean, as a writer and director, my favorite part of the process is all the research. So I had a ton of research, which I then passed on to the actors. There's some great documentaries, Four Little Girls by Spike Lee, is phenomenal, and that actually really helped Sophie's character. May's character, played by Sophie Okonedo, Eyes on the Prize, a great book called Coming of Age in Mississippi, which I gave to Alicia Keys for her character, and a ton of music from the 60s. There's something about music that can kind of just put you in the time. So I gave all of this to the actors. But we also had to do some improvs as well, just to really get the younger actors like Jennifer and Alicia really into the vibe of the time. Obviously, none of us were alive then, so how could I really put them in it? And Jennifer was just coming off the whole Oscar experience, which was gowns and Oscars and limos, and how could I get her into Rosaline? So actually came up with an improv for her and Dakota. Jennifer had been reading all this stuff about the South. She'd never been to the South, so when she came down there, she didn't know what to expect and was actually too scared to leave her hotel room. She didn't leave until I called her down to this drugstore in the middle of North Carolina, and I might hired actors and gave them all characters. They were to treat her as if it was 1964, and I told her that it was an improv. And told her just my only direction was please don't hit anybody. And, I didn't actually realize at the time that, being a newer actor, she didn't quite know what an improv was. So she actually went in thinking it was real, which in retrospect was a great thing. But she went into the store, I gave them a list of items to buy and like $20. And Jennifer kept trying to ask for help. And the shopkeeper would just ignore her and turn to Dakota and answer Dakota. And she kept trying to engage them, they wouldn't engage her at all. And then they started following her around the store, and they started accusing her of stealing, made her empty her pockets. At that point, Dakota went over and, offered to empty her pockets too, tried to really stand up for her. Then they went to finally go buy some ice cream, and the guy said he wouldn't serve Jennifer. So then she sat down, kind of in defiance, and the man sitting next to her told the shopkeeper to get this N-word out of here. And at that point, Jennifer's head just whipped over the head, and she said the thing that went through her head was don't hit anybody. So, at that point, I knew the improv should end. But, the thing that she said that she got out of it, which was great for her character, was that feeling of invisibility, and that she was really nobody and was treated like that, and that's really what fueled her performance.
And the bees were real. How was it working with the bees and getting the actors to work with the bees?
The hard thing on a small budget is I couldn't use a lot of CGI bees. So the bees were interesting. I was deathly afraid of bees before this started, and I was hoping being involved in the movie would help cure me of that, and it did. During the filming, I'm back to being afraid. But in all my research, what I noticed is that no beekeepers used gloves. And so, as a director, you can call and tell your actors, Lateef and Tristan, I don't want you to wear gloves. And obviously the first reaction is what you would expect, which is, hell no. But then once they saw the documentaries that I showed them, they saw it too. And then just kind of decided, let's go for it. And, obviously tells a lot about what kind of actors they are, because bees, you can't train like a dog. They're bees. So they went to bee school. We had a great beekeeper, and he just really made them comfortable. And Lateef, after an hour, got her gloves off. Took Tristan a couple days. And he's the only one that got stung. He got stung twice, which is amazing because each of those hives had 50,000 bees in them, and we had 12 hives, and they were trucked in from Florida because bees hate cold weather, and we were shooting in the dead of winter in North Carolina. So they were also very unhappy bees as well. But it was just about, giving them the time to feel comfortable, get the take as quickly as possible. And again, it was a miracle that only Tristan, I'm saying only, I feel bad obviously, but that only he got stung. Yeah, doing the music is my favorite part of the post-process. I also have a great editor, Terry Shropshire, who music is one of her gifts, and she's kind of my secret weapon. And you know, for this it was difficult because we needed to find modern artists who could be in the film and not take us out of the period. And there's a great artist, Liz Wright, who Terry found, and then Alicia Keys obviously has a song at the end. Indy Irie had that kind of voice, so it took a while to find that. It was also, I have 3 great singers in the movie. It was such a temptation, and the studio was begging me to put their songs in the movie, and I was just too afraid that it could pull you out, and suddenly you're thinking, oh, that's Jennifer Hudson, not Rosalie. So, but I thought it was okay to have Alicia's song at the end because, you know, we're at the end. And then just with the 60s music, I just wanted to find some songs that you don't hear in every movie. And our music supervisor found a lot of the stuff like Breakaway, the song in the kitchen that I had never heard of, but, you know, loved so much. And I had one Supreme song. You gotta have the Supremes. But it was great also because on the smaller budget film, there's a whole separate catalog of songs that were minor hits and cost, like the song Breakaway, it was $20,000, which is a miracle to 60s music. So if you need 60s music, there's a whole separate catalog you can go through and get it for a lot cheaper.